Good morning, everyone. 2019 Basel Fair Day 2 here with my great friend Ricardo Guadalupe, CEO of Hublot. And I had an amazing evening last night talking to you and the design director of Ferrari, Flavio Manzoni, who's a dear friend of mine. And he was just completely delighted with the collaboration. I think it's amazing because it's the first time that a watch brand has empowered a car company that's one of the best, if not the best, and most creative car companies in the world to really have a hand in the design of their watches. Tell me a little bit about this process and why you wanted to engage them creatively.
Yes, I think that the key element of the success between our partnership with Ferrari and Hublot is the fact that we are talking to people, that we are working with the people of Ferrari, right, and they are working with the people of Hublot. And human relationship, of course, is very important. And since the beginning, Flavio was always very motivated with his team to design a watch, and they said, we would like to design something for you, and I said, of course, why not? So let's start on something. And we started like that, and they created at that time, already a few years ago, they went on four different approaches. Right. And one of them was La Ferrari, you know, that was more a concept watch that we launched together with them. And another one was really to come with a new classic, contemporary design, elegant at the same time. And when I saw that, I said, wow, that's really incredible. And we have the DNA of Ferrari in the watch, but also the DNA of Hublot. And I think that this new watch that we launched yesterday, this Classic Fusion Ferrari GT, really, I think it's totally new in the watch industry. Right. And it is interesting for us because I think we must be inspired by other worlds that Absolutely. Only the watchmaking art, you know? Sure. So, and with Ferrari, it's totally the case, and the result for me is really incredible.
You know, over the years, you have created more and more in-house competences, in particular related to, well, everything from movements, but a lot also the complication, but a lot the cases as well. And, you know, with the carbon fiber technology that's in-house, with the 3D carbon fiber, which I think it's only you that's using, this gives you so much liberty, I would imagine, to create something really that doesn't exist before, because most brands would just put a Scuderia Ferrari on the dial. But when you look at the cases of the Classic Fusion and the previous watch as well, there's no resemblance to anything that you've done before.
Yes, absolutely. I think we work really on the three aspects. Of course, the design is important, right, and the materials is very important for us, because I think through materials we can also innovate and come with something new. For instance, the red ceramic that we launched last year, this vivid red that can correspond very well to Ferrari as well. So the research and development in materials is really key for us, and we're investing a lot in that particular segment. And of course, on the movement side, we try also to innovate and to try to reinvent what is the mechanical movements, because we believe that we don't have to, if we just repeat the past, if we do a perpetual calendar for Hublot, it doesn't really make sense, because other brands are doing perpetual calendars in a very nice way. So we try to reinvent also the mechanical approach. Like for instance, La Ferrari was the first example with vertical bars, and we came with the MP11 with 14 days power reserve with vertical bars, and I think this is really the way that we are looking for, so movements, materials, and design.
Incredible. You know, what I think is really cool about Flavio is the first time I met him, he explained to me that the world was in the middle of a retro theme, a trend, you know? Yes. And I think there's a great parallel between the car world and the watch world as well, where everyone is just reproducing things from the past. And he said, I don't want to reproduce the past, because the only way you can honor the future is by writing the next chapter. Exactly. And I think Hublot has been really the brand that's done that as well, because because you were the rupture, because you guys were the pioneers of modern watchmaking, you don't reference the past at all.
No, because I think just copying the past is not the right answer, you know, because the watches that were produced in the 60s and 70s are beautiful, but they should remain in that period. And now we should really reinvent the way. If the classic, let's say, style is back, we should reinvent the classic, you know, not just repeat what has been done in the past. And I think that with this watch, for me, it's a classic watch, but contemporary and different.
I think in particular it's really funny because last night Flavio and I were talking about the gold execution of this watch. And you know, from a sort of psychological or sociological perspective, a gold watch is a certain symbol in society. But the fact that you're able to do a Classic Fusion gold watch in a way that's so contemporary is precisely this nice sort of mix. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that with this really new model, I think we are opening a new era for Hublot, and a lot of different possibilities for the future as well.
Last question. I think what's so interesting about Hublot is I think it was the first brand really to not be trapped in looking only at the the traditional references and the traditional associations for watch brands, but to really expand its universes beyond that and to really reach all new audiences. And you've seen as a result, it's one of the very few brands that basically started in 2005, you know, we can say it started.
Absolutely.
And has reached really sort of like a almost astronomical growth. You know, what would you say this is one of the key components?
Yes, I think so. I think that we have been able to really create a world of Hublot through our different partnerships that we have, Ferrari, football, but today we are exploring new universe like the art, like the music, and of course always with a strong product, because at the end the central part is the product, very innovative with a strong design and a lot of value in it. I think is really important, and I think that's the key element of our success.
And I love how you create the partnerships, but then you continue and you evolve the partnerships. One of my favorite watches this year was the new Sang Bleu Maxime Bouchy watch, because you take, you know, already a watch that was so cool, but you made it through the increased skeletonization of the time telling even better.
Yeah, and there we see, because the Sang Bleu is an example of we have worked on the hands with the graphics of the hands, and at the end you don't really see well the time, but we sell more than that. You know, a watch today has become really a piece of art, and this is really the right example, the Sang Bleu, and at the end commercially it has been an incredible success.
Ricardo, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.